funny Fargo comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. David Gooch.
Hey! Almost. We're going to learn how to say it. All right, my name is David Gooch, and it's spelled G-O-O-C-H, the last name, not the first name. And part of comedy is branding yourself, and so I like to insert a lot of O's into that Gooch, so that when someone announces my name and when we leave, I feel like we both want to know each other. I want you to remember my name, and I'm going to remember yours. I'm going to call you audience. I'm going to call you audience. Okay. So I would want you to say Gooch. So let's hear it one more time. Gooch. Okay, that's good enough. Well, we're in luck because there's going to be music. Well, I'm going to play the ukulele. I used to have an accordion, and the day I bought it, I remember I got a good deal. I don't know how to play it, but I thought that's kind of cool. I'll learn how to play the accordion. And the day I bought it, I went down to Minneapolis, and I was unsure of. Found the thing on Craigslist, and I was unsure of where to go. And I found the address, and the guy wanted $15 or something for it, and I bought it, and I was very proud of it. And I put it in the car, and then I noticed like down the block there was a fast food joint, and I was hungry, and I eat fast food obviously. And I thought, well, I'll just walk down there and get a sandwich before I start driving back to Fargo. And so I locked up the car, and I walked down the half a block or so on the other side of the street and got my sandwich. And as I'm walking back, I get close to the car, and I see back in the back seat area, the window's been smashed out, and there's glass all over the ground. Oh no! I go up to the car, and sure enough, someone had put another accordion in my back seat. Hey, I'm a little bit prejudiced, and it's not so much against black people or Mexicans or anything like that. I find that I'm kind of prejudiced against Canadians. And I do a lot of driving up along the north part of the state where you can listen to the Canadian radio stations on your AM radio as you're driving along. And it's a lot like listening to, United States radio, except when they talk about a traffic jam somewhere, you don't have to be concerned because it's in a different country. I mean, who cares if the 302 is backed up, or if the temperature is 5 and you know that it's really in the 40s or something. It's just wacky stuff. So that's why I think I'm against Canadians. And plus, you can't trust them because not every Canadian speaks English. They've got a little subset of Canadians over near Quebec that speak some other language. And so I feel like if they're going to do something sneaky, if they're going to make plans to do something that's going to affect me, they're going to get these Quebecians to plot and make the plan, and I won't understand what they're saying. So it's suspicious that it's one country and they've got two languages. Well, that's what I used to think until recently I started noticing that more people in the United States are speaking Spanish. I was 2 weeks ago. I was at the Grand Forks Herald, and during the flood of 97, 98, Grand Forks got all wiped out, and they had to rebuild a bunch of stuff. And one of the businesses that got severely affected was the Grand Forks Herald newspaper office. And so they spent a bunch of money remodeling the Grand Forks Herald newspaper office, and somebody decided that it would be a good idea to make a time capsule and seal it, and then 100 years from now, open it up, and people will go, wow, that's how people lived in 1998. Isn't that interesting? The people in Grand Forks and at the Grand Forks Herald, however, are very, very optimistic. You look at this 2 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot stainless steel cube, and on the front it says, time capsule, open in the year 2098. Now they're very optimistic, and the reason I know they're optimistic is because they wrote that in English. No one's going to be around that speaks English in 2098. If they'd wanted it open, they'd have written it in Spanish. Okay. You asked for music. You came here to this fine musical venue. You see the multi-dollar grand piano next to me. And in my hand I hold the $60 baritone ukulele. I've written a special song for you tonight. And it concerns the medical profession. I've often wondered that, why we don't feel the same way about the different medical doctors. I always feel pretty guilty when I go to the dentist because I feel like he's going to see the tartar on my teeth and all the other bad stuff, and he's going to ask me if I floss, and I'm going to say yes. And so I'm kind of lying to him about things, and I'm thinking, well, other doctors, I don't feel that way. When you go to the optometrist, you don't feel like you have to lie and say, oh yeah, I wear sunglasses all the time when I go outside, or oh yeah, I always sit at least 10 feet away from the TV set, or I'm making careful that I don't focus my eyes too quickly as I go from near vision to far vision. You don't feel like you have to lie to the optometrist in the same way. So here's a song for the optometry fans in tonight's audience. I went to the eye doctor the other day, and that's when I found out Dr. Bob passed away. And fresh out of optometry school was his daughter Mona. Tall and lean, she could give you a real bona. After the exam, she wrote out the prescription. The numbers seemed different, I had my suspicion. Am I losing my sight? Is it true what they say? If I could find the right woman, could I keep blindness away? Mona laughed and told me it was a schoolyard lie. I'd be more likely known as the carpal tunnel guy. Are you saying I should give up my whacking? Yes, because you're in my office and I find it distracting. Thank you.
Good job. And you know what? I can relate because I fucking hate Canadians. All right, your next comedian. Boo? Was that a boo? Did I get booed already?